All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are going to cover something about Zion Williamson. We haven't covered him on this channel yet, and I've been meaning to do so. And this one sounded like it's right up my alley. This one's by Andy Hoops. It's called Zion Williamson is the saddest, or the NBA's saddest story. Now, just the other day, him going out with a hamstring injury and missing the play-in and all that stuff, I figured it's about time, because it started looking like, oh, maybe he's actually going to stay healthy, but nope, turned out he's not. So go check out Andy Hoops if you like his content, and yeah, shoot this video a like real quick if you could. That would help this video perform and get out there to more people. And let's check this out together. Here we go.
Zion is the most unique athlete I've coached to do.
Zion, yes, sir!
A human highlight reel, a force that defies the laws of physics, an athletic marvel that bewilders even the brightest sports scientists.
He won the Wooden Award, scored 81 points in the ACC tournament, most by a freshman in ACC history, and now is making that walk to start his professional career.
Five-star prospect, the National College Player of the Year as a freshman, and the Atlantic Coast Conference Athlete of the Year and Tournament MVP. The consensus #1 overall pick by a landslide. Nobody had this much confidence on a player to be the guaranteed first pick since LeBron James in 2003. For years, the media was all over him. It was Zion this, Zion that. His name was all over the news. Even my friends who don't watch basketball knew his name. Zion Williamson was deemed the most anticipated athlete across all sports because nobody has seen anything like him before. At 6,
I gotta say, I kind of want to see him live, like in person. I know, I've got a lot of negative to say about his situation and what he's done with his career so far and his weight and all kinds of stuff. But honestly, even just the other day in a play-in, dude is fun to watch. I wish he could stay in shape and not keep getting injured so we could watch him more, because this guy's got natural, just God-given talents, and it's going to waste. It's unfortunate, but the guy is crazy athletic.
6'6", nearly 300 pounds, the dude moved like a freight train, but somehow was just as agile and nimble, able to contort his body like a guard, but finish like a center. It wasn't just his brute strength and power, he had the handles and skills to go along with it, compact in that unstoppable force of a body.
Nice.
Sadly, Zion...
It's funny, his ISO game is already 10 times better than LeBron's is. He had this from college. But the thing is this ISO game's not going to mean much in another 5 years or so. So I'd like to see him play more while he's young, because after that he's going to have to transition into a jump shooter, because the athleticism is just going to go down.
Zion's NBA career is not going how we all thought it would.
Nope.
While we still see flashes of what makes him so special, there's a lot of things holding him back, and as the years went by, he's becoming less and less relevant. In fact, he's become a meme now. Some of his escapades are...
Porn star, yeah, I know. This whole thing was terrible. Was it even a porn star? I thought it was an OnlyFans model.
ridiculous, and I feel like nobody even takes him seriously anymore.
It's hard to.
As he watches his peers leap ahead of him, Zion has fallen behind. You add on, there's a rift between him and the Pelicans organization, which I'll dive into later in this video. How's it going, folks? My name's Andy, and today, let's take a look at the downfall of a once-in-a-generation
let's do it.
Despite Zion's gargantuan size, prior to coming to the NBA, he didn't really suffer any debilitating injuries. This isn't like a Greg Oden situation.
Wow.
Who everyone knew
that looked like that should have been a hammy right there.
Had a bad history of knee problems prior to coming to the NBA.
Greg Oden.
Zion's only notable injury was, you just saw it. It was a freak accident.
Was that a hammy?
He suffered a knee sprain because his foot burst through his Nike sneakers, and it caused him to slip.
Holy shit.
Y'all remember this? Nike stock...
I do not remember that. Holy shit. How'd he tear through the shoe like that? I've never seen that before.
Market value dropped by over $1 billion after this incident.
Okay, that's just stupid. I'm into the finance world too, and this kind of stuff happens, and it's just hilarious to me. I'd be buying the shit out of that right now if I was paying attention in 2019. I'd be like, oh, that's a sale. Let's buy it because everyone's scared for stupid reasons. Now let's buy it up. Buy it a dip.
It's crazy how this even happened. It just shows the force that Zion moves with.
Yeah.
The thing is, when he returned, he was better than ever. In fact, in his first game back, he scored 29 points on 13 for 13
100% shooting.
It was the best shooting
100% shooting. Were they all dunks? What the hell was that game?
Performance in the history of Duke and the history of the ACC tournament. So, I'd say he recovered quite well.
Yeah.
As he entered,
I also assumed that was before he got a shoe deal. He's with Jumpman, right? He's with MJ?
the NBA draft, that injury just flew past everyone's minds. As you all know, the major concern of him back then, and even today, is his weight.
Yeah.
He entered the NBA in 2019, listed at 284 pounds.
Goddamn.
At that time, that was the second heaviest listed weight behind only Boban Marjanovic.
Okay, I just want to put this into context here. Wait.
Is his weight.
Come on.
He entered the NBA in 2019, listed at 200.
All right. So I'm 6'3", and I've got a big frame, right? So, like, I've got big, broad shoulders and a big frame. It's who I am. But when I'm at my prime weight at 6'3", I'm at 230. 235 max. So that's me, like, buff, you know, ripped, like not skinny. Like, I'm in good shape at that point. If I'm skinny, I'm 220. So 6'6" at 284 ripped. I don't know, man. That's an extra 50 pounds. That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of extra weight to carry around.
184 pounds. At that time, that was the second heaviest listed weight behind only Boban Marjanovic, who's 7'3".
Wow.
As a 6'6", 19-year-old, that's freaking insane. Zion was he was too heavy for his body to withstand the wear and tear of the NBA. The first red flag occurred before the season even started. The Pelicans released a statement that Zion would undergo surgery to repair a torn meniscus.
I've had a torn meniscus before. It sucks. It really sucks.
But what torn meniscus? We never saw him get injured. It wasn't any specific play or possession that caused it. It was a gradual progression through the course of multiple workouts
wear and tear.
that caused him to develop severe knee soreness, which led to this injury. This was very alarming, because this time it wasn't a freak accident. When you tear a ligament like this, it means your knees can't carry the burden of your body.
Yep.
On the bright side, Zion made a full recovery, and in his second season, his game truly came together. That explosiveness and agility in his frame is unheard of, and he stormed through the season. Zion registered the 8th highest points per game on the 8th best field goal percentage.
61%. Yeah, that's fantastic. Quick thought. Stick this into the comments if you could. Did Zion never did a dunk contest, did he, in the pros? Because of all the injuries? Am I right about that?
Captivated the audience, and fans were in awe of him. This is the Zion we all imagined he could be, and for a while, he was living up to those gigantic expectations.
Yeah.
Sadly,
it keeps
would be
happening.
short-lived.
It keeps happening.
Over the summer, he suffered a Jones fracture on his foot, and it forced him to get surgery. The Pelicans were
once again probably from the impact of the weight. So not only just walking daily wear and tear, but you see how high this dude jumps. So he gets way up there in the air, and he has to land every time. So the knees getting injured because of lifting. You know, he's got to bend the knee and lift up, and he's got to lift all that extra weight. And his foot is all messed up because he has to land on those feet. And then that extra weight, once again, is being pushed down. That's why it's like, I'm not like fat shaming or anything like that, but he's a professional athlete getting paid max money. He's going to continue to injure himself if he doesn't get his weight under control. That's just a fact. Straight up. It is what it is. Unless he wants to change his game and not be this flashy ISO, dunk in your face kind of player, then he could make it a little longer. But that would take him being a jump shooter, and he'd just be your typical player at that point. That's the only way. One, he's got to lose weight, or two, he's got to change his game.
Optimistic he could return in 2 or 3 months. That's the recovery time for the average player. But Zion is not the average player.
Nope.
A Jones fracture on a guy as heavy as he is, that's very concerning. You always gotta be cautious, so the team kept pushing back his timetable to return. It also wasn't healing properly, and eventually that meant he'd be out the entire season. At this point, it's getting a bit dicey. 3 seasons in,
Jeez.
and Zion has missed significant time, with many of his supporters believing he needed to lose weight to put less pressure on his joints and feet.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, of course.
But Zion surprisingly gained weight since entering the NBA, according to his former trainer who took a jab at the Pelicans. Now it got serious. The team started to stress the importance of
Hold on, what was that quote? Yep. Pelicans have told Zion his diet and conditioning. Yeah, yeah. That's why they made stipulations in his contract now, which I don't even know if they're being enforced, but he has to be under a certain weight now, or he's in breach of contract. I've never heard of that before, Zion. Have you guys heard of that before? Or is he the first person in professional basketball that has a weight stipulation on it, a weight contingency on his contract?
former trainer who took a jab at the Pelicans. Now it got serious. The team started to stress the importance of him to lose weight, but it's hard to get through to him. It's really hard to get rid of bad eating habits that's been there his entire life.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate too.
Yeah, for sure.
Regardless, even after sitting out an entire season, the Pelicans still felt comfortable enough to throw him the bag. In the summer of 2022, Zion signed a colossal contract extension, worth nearly $200 million.
Crazy. I mean, I said the same thing about DeAndre Ayton, and I'll say it about Zion. Okay. Ayton wasn't injury prone. He just proved that, he doesn't care. Zion is injury prone, and his way of showing he doesn't care is by not taking care of his body. So he kept getting injured and all this. And one thing I hate about the NBA is that we're rewarding people for doing this kind of stuff. So imagine hiring somebody for work, and you schedule them 5 days a week, and every single week they're missing like 2 days, calling in sick. Do you give that person a raise? Because I wouldn't. But that's what keeps happening in the NBA. It's like, okay, you're not fulfilling your contract the way we thought you would and the way we agreed on it. So here's $200 million, buddy. Here you go. Good job. I'll never understand this mentality.
It was a gamble, but one they had to take. Even with all his injuries and weight problems keeping him off the court, he is their franchise player. Or at least he's the only hope the franchise has of becoming relevant. Since then, he's had even more injury problems, like, his hamstring blew up, his knees were still experiencing pain.
Ironically enough, this video is, when it come out? 3 months ago. So this video is 3 months old, and he just re-injured that hamstring yesterday, or 2 days ago.
It's a never-ending cycle of rehab and recovery for Zion, who missed the bulk of another season.
He's getting paid to rehab.
And that's when the tension started to build. According to this article by The Athletic, the final 3 years of his contract are not guaranteed anymore because he missed more than 22 games in the 2022-23 season. If they wanted to, the Pelicans can waive him as early as 2024.
Nice.
And not have his salary count towards the cap.
Oh, shit. You guys think they're going to do it after he went out like this? I mean, I would do it. I'm just saying it. I would do it. I wouldn't have given him an extension in 2022 like they did. So now, even if I fuck that up, I'd make up for it now. Be like, sorry, Zion, you're in breach of contract. We're done. Good luck. Good luck to you. Then they free up all that money, and they can, they're a decent team. So they can free up all that money, sign some people, and make a good playoff push next year.
Because of this, they hold all the cards. I'm sure when Zion signed this deal, he knew the consequences. He knew he had to work on rehabbing to recover and get back to playing. Perhaps the Pelicans believed if Zion was at risk of losing money, he would try harder to get into better shape and return to the court. It's been a struggle, and old habits die hard. It makes this giant contract seem more manageable and way less risky for the Pelicans. If all that criteria was not included, it would probably be the worst contract in the league, just because of how many games.
Dude, I remember that game. That was against the Suns. And they blew us out, and they did that at the end. We were so pissed off. But it was also like his first week back, if not his first game back from one of his major injuries. So he was just like showboating.
He's missed. This is why, in recent times, Zion has expressed his discontent with the organization. It mainly has to do with his injury management and all the contract stipulations he's not qualifying for.
Dude, he's lucky. It's funny. He's playing victim. Like the organization is doing him wrong. Dude, he's making over $200 million from this organization. And he's barely playing. Like most people work their asses off their entire lives for $1 million, maybe. And look at this guy.
It's kind of a conflict of interest. Zion wants to play to meet his contract criteria, but the Pelicans need him to rest to maintain his health, but also want him to play because they need to win.
Right.
It's a big mess. They've also butted heads when discussing his diet and program to get back into game shape, as this is still the biggest concern. Nowadays, the media has been piling on Zion for still being out of shape. I mean, if you see the news about Zion today versus Zion a few years back, it's a world of difference.
Yeah.
He was once treated almost like a divine godlike figure, a once-in-a-generation athlete with all the talent and potential in the world.
He was. He really was. He just blew it. I'm sorry, it's still happening. He's blowing it.
Now, everyone is clowning him. Not just for his weight, but his escapades with, an adult actress and OnlyFans model. I'm sure you guys know the story there. Plus,
Yes, I do.
Even when he does play, he hasn't gotten much better compared to his rookie season. There used to be comparisons to Charles Barkley, but Zion is nowhere near the rebounder Chuck was.
Yeah, Chuck had weight problems, but Chuck was tough, man. And Chuck didn't have injury problems. He was an old school beast. And that whole OnlyFans thing, it makes me wonder if Zion, like, how much money do you think Zion has left? Do you think he's blowing it all on like fucking just chicks? Even though he's okay. I think he proposed to his girl because she's pregnant. So he's about to be a dad and a husband. And I think he's blowing all of his money on side hoes. All the evidence I've seen, I think this is what he does. He eats probably like $200 worth of food every night. And then he's probably spending thousands and thousands of dollars every single night on hoes. Do you think he's got money? Or are we going to see him someday as that guy who made like $400 million and is now like broke with like, working at fucking Walmart?
In fact, it's quite concerning how bad of a rebounder he is. With his wide frame and jumping ability, you expect him to be better.
Yeah, really. Really. Dudes like Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan are out rebounding, you fool. What are you doing? What are you doing out there? Good field goal percentage. That's an embarrassing free throw percentage. That shows me he can't transition into a jump shooter. There's no way.
No one's really questioned his talent before, but with all the years of rehab and sitting out, that has stunted his progress. What does the future look like for Zion? Well, on a positive note, he hasn't been missing that many games this year. The Pelicans have
until the play-in
set a new schedule for his injury management, and it's been working so far. It shows that they're still committed to having him as a future of this franchise, because honestly, they don't have a choice. They got lucky with just a 6% chance of getting the #1 pick to get him. It was a blessing. The greatest prospect in years landed in their...
Crazy. It's crazy to see something like this. Look at that. Like, that's a man who's like so thankful. He's so gracious because he knows he's about to get some generational wealth. And then he blows it.
To get him.
Look at that.
It was a blessing.
Look at that.
The greatest prospect in years landed
down.
in their laps. Yet, they have nothing to show for it. No deep playoff runs, not many winning seasons, and now surrounded by media drama and trade rumors. It's too early to give up on him, but these days, a player can request a trade and sit out until it happens. So if Zion is not happy
thanks, Ben Simmons.
The Pelicans won't have a choice. They have the leverage, but Zion's value is not as high as it used to be. It's not all bad though, because they're not a bad team. And progress is being made, slowly. He's feeling better now and more enthusiastic than he's ever been.
What does it mean now that you learned that the crowd was really behind you with the pregame introduction? What does it mean that you still got that good home support?
Okay. As we speak, New Orleans is beating Sacramento 101-91 with a minute left. So it looks like without him, they're going to make the playoffs. How crazy is that? So now let's put the next thing to talk about in the comments. Do you guys think he's going to play in the playoffs with that hamstring injury? Or you think he's going to miss the rest of the playoffs? I want to see him in the playoffs, but I have a feeling he's going to miss it. He's not going to come back.
It means a lot. I've said it over the years. Drew Brees and a bunch of other New Orleans guys that were here before me said the same thing. If you love the city, which I very much do, it'll love you back. So to the city, to the fans, thank you. I'm going to do my best not to let y'all down.
Anyway, that's all folks. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and of course, as always, I'll see you next time.
Alright, cool vid. Alright, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. Yeah, shoot this video a like if you could. It'll help the video perform. If you like my reactions, then shoot me a subscribe. And pumping out about a video a day at this point. Really enjoying my time here on YouTube. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about in the comments. So yeah, let me know what you think. What do you think about Zion? What did you think about him when he first came in? What did you think about him in 2022 when he got that contract extension? And what do you think about him now, getting injured again in the playoff tournament against the Lakers the way he did? And also, do you think he's going to play? Because officially 36 seconds left in the game, and New Orleans is up by 10. So they're obviously a good team without him. Man, I would so get rid of Zion next year. I would so do it. All right, let me know what you think. I'll talk to y'all soon, and see you tomorrow in our next video. Peace out.